I'm here with Marcelo. Disappointing night tonight, I've got to say. Lost at home. First home loss. What a time to lose in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup first leg. Marcelo, your thoughts on the game?
I think it's just such a frustrating game, and I haven't felt this way in a really long time, where I was desperate for the final whistle to go.
As bad as that, well.
Yeah, man, I won't lie. Like, if you look at the numbers, it would tell a very different story. But, most of the shots we took were very aimless and just, on a whim. We were just praying something would fall for us. And the couple really clear chances we had, we just weren't able to finish. And I think, that does just tell the story of tonight, of one team taking their chances and the other one just, squandering them.
Because I thought, to be fair, Newcastle started quite positively. Some people suggesting that they might deploy a low block. That wasn't the case. When they got the ball, they were quite ambitious. But we weathered that storm, and then we went on to have quite a bit of the ball. And we did look quite threatening. Culminated in Martinelli through on goal. He looks like he's going to score. He doesn't. He hits a post.
Yeah.
And that kind of told a lot, really. We just didn't really look like scoring after that.
Yeah, and I think one important thing about that chance was it was a rare moment where Newcastle's back line was way up, right? It wasn't like we had some intricate build-up play where we opened them up really nicely. It was just a rare chance where Martinelli's one-on-one. And I don't think it's as easy a chance as people are making it out to be, but you still need to be putting it away, obviously, in these important games. And this is a little bit of a side note, but Jack made a good point during the watch party. The one time where things opened up was when someone, I think it was Rice, or someone took a poor touch, and we accidentally found some space in the middle, and then there was an opportunity and Partey gets fouled. It feels like we're so rigid, and Arteta has made us so constrained that it's so rare for us to see this fluidity that we came to fall in love with.
Yeah, that's a fair point. However, I would also say that defensively tonight, I thought we were a bit sloppy. As good as Isak and Gordon were, and I thought Isak was outstanding, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought that both the goals could be attributed to defensive lapses. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think there was a moment right before Isak's goal. Rice loses his man, Odegaard gets pushed off the ball, and Isak loses him very easily. We just didn't look like ourselves, and I think that there was a lack of accountability within the team throughout the game, especially as the second half grew on and the anxiety started to increase. You could see players looking around at each other, and it was something I hadn't seen from us in a long time, where people just weren't really willing or ready to step up, with the exception of Rice, who I think looked like he wanted to make something happen. And Miles Lewis-Skelly, I think those are really the only two guys that can fully hold their heads up high. Other than that, it was just a team full of players that didn't look ready, Yeah.
The prevailing wisdom at the ground is that we just weren't sharp enough in attack. We just didn't look like we were going to score. Now, there has been criticism levelled at the manager in previous games, just like tonight, where, we've had a lot of the ball. We've not looked like scoring. It's been starting to become a real problem now. And then, of course, it was impossible not to notice, I've got to say this, the difference between the two number 9s tonight, Isak and Havertz. I mean, it was like night and day, really, yeah?
Night and day. And then you see Jesus coming on, and then we have Havertz out on the right wing doing step-overs and trying to pick up the ball and make something happen from the touchline. And that is just a head-scratcher. What is going to happen with Jesus in the middle and Havertz out wide? It's really frustrating, and Arteta definitely has to take some of the blame. There's no doubt about that. I think it is valid to point at the injuries, and not the injuries, but the fatigue that comes to the rest of the players when you can't rotate properly. But still, this was our strongest starting 11, obviously with the exception of Saka being out. I think Lewis Skelly's our best all-around left back right now. So at the end of the day, you have a strong 11, but we just couldn't manage to get the job done. We had so many shots. XG looks pretty, but doesn't matter when there's a big fat 0 next to your badge. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, both teams went strong. Newcastle went strong. We went strong. Obviously, both managers want to win the competition. But, and I've got to say this, there were a number of people I spoke to at the game, both during the game and after, suggesting that Newcastle looked a bit more up for it than us. Now, that can sometimes be an oversimplification after a team has lost, to see the other team were more up for it than we were. Do you hold any validity to that, or what?
I mean, I agree. It is a little bit lazy to say that wholeheartedly, but I think to some extent you can look into that. Yeah, Newcastle hasn't won a real trophy in over 6 decades. They got to the final a couple of years ago. We haven't even been to a final in 5 years, more than 5 years. So you could say they've come closer to tasting silverware. Yes, we finished second and came close, but a final's different. So yeah, I think maybe they were a little more on it than us, and we just looked flat.
That's disappointing, though, right?
Extremely disappointing to be 5 years into this project. Now, again, it's not like we did absolutely nothing all game, but at the end of the day, we're 5 years into this project. You can't continue to make excuses. We should be putting in a lot more than we did.
Right, I've got to ask a question. We got the return leg in a few weeks' time. We go up to Newcastle. Notoriously, it's a very difficult place to go. But do you think we have what it takes to get something there? We're going to have to score 3+ goals. At the moment, we're not scoring much at all. Do you think we can do it?
No, absolutely not. You see how we played at St. James's Park earlier this season. It was shocking. I know there's still 3 weeks left in the transfer window, but I don't think we're going to bring in anyone that is even close to transformative enough to bring us back up to the level that we need to be.
It's certainly going to be a hard task. One quick final question. We've got another cup game coming up this weekend, another massive game. 3rd round of the FA Cup against our long-time rivals, Man United. We were on a very poor run of form, we're a bit resurgent last week. Do you think, we're at home, do you think we can get something against them?
Absolutely we can, yes. They'll be off the high of a pretty big result at Anfield. But yeah, we can get it done. Absolutely we can. I think just switch out Trossard for Jesus, everything else the same.